you're 7 years old, out past your bedtime and full of anxious energy. You're walking a twisty trail through the woods, lit only by the light of the moon. You're excited enough to scream, but you stay quiet, like a fox walking through the forest. As you tiptoe through the trees, you grip your flashlight, but you keep it off in hopes of being sneaky and stealthy while you walk. You look up to see the group ahead of you has stopped, which can only mean one thing. They heard something. You still your body, turn on your dear ears, and you hear it too. Ooh, 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 ooh. Thank you. Welcome to your first owl prowl. I'll be your guide, Emily Calhoun. By day, I am a naturalist at a local science center and nature-based early education center, but even I have to convince the kids in my programs that it's fun to be outside. But it's not their fault. They're just not used to it. In fact, today's kids spend 90% of their time inside. And for us adults, that number is, well, a lot higher. Nature deficit disorder, a term coined by famed nature education advocate Richard Louv, is the result of our indoor-centric society, and it is running rampant. As we all sit indoors at this very moment, it's easy to realize just how much of our time is spent inside. Between dependencies on technology, a societal devaluing of nature, and regular urbanization of our natural spaces, it's no wonder we are so inharmonious with nature. Our time inside leaves us feeling alienated from the natural world and makes us more susceptible to poor attention spans, obesity, depression, and other significant issues. Today, our indoor-centric society lacks knowledge about the natural world, knowledge our ancestors once possessed and revered. Now, as adults, we don't often recognize the effects of nature deficit disorder in our own lives. It might present as depression, feelings of discontent, or as a constant need to tune into social media and our devices. In many of the kids I work with, I observe nature deficit disorder in the form of difficulty paying attention in class, a lack of knowledge of local wildlife, and some level of nature phobia. Nature deficit disorder is very real, but even small actions can help us rebuild our connection to nature. So let's get back to our owl prowl and see how we can use owl superpowers in our woods, cities, and suburbs to rebuild our connection to nature and solve nature deficit disorder. Unlike these clearly catatonic states induced by engaging with technology, nature requires a heightened sense of awareness, and owl superpowers provide us with just that. So let's start with their first superpower, their adaptations. When you're on an owl prowl, owl adaptations can be really fun to learn about. Take a second for me and picture an owl in your head. I bet you're picturing those piercing, bright yellow eyes. Owls have large eyes that allow them to see at night, and of course, add to their allure. Owl eyes are far different from human eyes, though. Human eyes are easily distracted by activity within our periphery. I invite you to join me by just holding your chin still. Thanks, everybody. Rolling your eyes around, and you'll see just how much you notice going on within the theater. Maybe the person next to you fidgeting, someone drinking from their water bottle. But the tube-shaped eyes of owls are far more focused on what's going on in their immediate scope of vision. So now, join me in making owl vision. Take 2 tubes with your hands, put those up to your eyes, and you'll see just how focused an owl's vision can be. Now, to go along with their excellent sight, owls fly almost completely silently at night. The fluted edges of their feathers slice through any turbulence, and their soft, downy texture makes flight seem effortless. A flying owl does not add to the many sounds of a forest at night that their ears easily detect. As they fly silently, searching for prey, an owl must be able to pick up on the quiet rustling of a mouse as it searches the forest floor for food. Owl ears are unique. Rather than large, external, symmetrical ears, owls have asymmetrical slits on the sides of their heads that pick up sounds from the treetops down to the forest floor, with studies showing that a great gray owl can hear prey underneath a foot of snow. But the most fun part about using owls to reconnect with nature is that they make amazing sounds, and we get to sound silly trying to imitate them. Like, for example, the eastern screech owl. Or the great horned owl. I've had children and adults alike giggle at me, give me strange looks, even be completely unimpressed by what I think are my well-rehearsed calls. But the second they try those calls on their own, they're having fun, and they've caught the nature bug. So that brings me to the second superpower of owls. Owls have an ability to promote a heightened sense of awareness while we explore the outdoor world. Whether you walk down a busy city street or follow a deer trail through the woods, using our owl eyes helps us be better observers outside. Next time you find yourself walking, going over your to-do list in your head, take a second and put on your owl eyes. You might be surprised by how much you notice. And though we can't fly, let alone silently, an owl's silent flight reminds us to quietly pay attention to the activity going on all around us. Rather than fly, we can silently fox walk as we explore our neighborhoods and pay attention to what's going on around us. And their ears? Well, turning on our owl ears while we walk can awaken us to the robin sounding an alarm to warn others of a nearby hawk. Spending more time in nature will benefit all of us. But why do we need owls? Why can't we just go outside? Owls are my antidote to nature deficit disorder. The superpowers of owls give us the tools we need to better attune with nature and appreciate the many benefits of time spent outside. Yes, we could just go for a walk once a week. Or we could use owls to better know our nature neighborhood, tune into the world around us, and foster a culture of true nature appreciation. So, to make sure you guys are all ready to go out there and combat nature deficit disorder, I'm going to put you all on the spot, and we're going to practice a call together. Now, don't be shy. We're all in it. Don't look at your neighbor. Don't worry about it. We're all doing this together. I'm going to demonstrate the call of the barred owl, who sounds like it's saying, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?" And then I'll count to 3, and we're doing it together. So take a big, deep breath. Let go of your inhibitions. Get ready to have some fun. So here's the call. Turn on those good deer ears. Everybody ready? All right, I'm counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. That was awesome. Give yourselves a hand. You guys are all owls. That's all I heard in here is just owls. You're excellent. And now that you guys have one call under your belt, I urge you to go home, pick up an owl field guide, listen to a few more calls online, and then go outside, turn on those owl eyes, and go for a prowl. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.